Hello, I'm retired journalist Kemi Olunloyo, Dr. Kemi. It's the 21st of May 2024. I'm pretty sure everybody heard about Singapore Airlines and what happened yesterday into today. This plane was leaving London and going to Singapore, Changi Airport. Changi is one of the most difficult airports to land a plane. I'm talking about the skyscrapers in every corner there, and it's one of the most beautiful in the world too. I've flown this airline in 1978 when I was 13 with my family. Now, let me tell you something about this incident. It actually boils down to what would happen if this were to happen in Nigeria. And Festus Keyamo, the Minister of Aviation, haven't said a word about this. We have to be prepared for this kind of stuff. Now, the airline left London yesterday, and somewhere in the air near Bangkok, Thailand, this plane had some kind of descent. I mean, the plane fell 6,000 feet. Let me tell you, I know a lot of you have already seen the photos. Everything in that airplane dismantled. Did you see all the food that the flight attendant had in the cupboards? Everything on the floor. The oxygen mask came out almost everywhere. Many people, their heads hit to the top of the luggage cabinets. The whole place was a mess. And one person died. A British man, 73-year-old man, died on that plane. It's a shame that this kind of stuff could happen. But did you know that that whole turbulence thing was an act of God? This is an aviation issue that no one can really control. I know you guys have heard about turbulence, but let me tell you, I have experienced turbulence and I don't like it. This is the reason why I cannot fly a private jet. Let me tell you about turbulence. Sometimes in turbulence, you have a situation where there's an air pocket. These planes are flying at 34,000 feet, 45,000 feet. The Boeing 747-8 goes all the way to 45,000 feet. And oxygen masks have to be readily available because of this kind of stuff. Because you wouldn't be able to breathe over there, up there. So what happened today basically was, I don't even think people were walking up and down the plane, because whenever they're about to hit turbulence, pilots will generally announce, "Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seats, fasten your seat belts. We're hitting a turbulent area." That's usually what they will say. This beautiful airline suffered a lot of damage today, and people were injured. I saw people with their heads bleeding. One flight attendant had a gash in her head. I just saw people just injured. Now, the plane had to land, emergency landing. The pilots were excellent. They did their best. They fought to the heavens, and I'm sure they were praying in that cockpit. But they managed to land this plane at Bangkok, Thailand airport. Look at the picture behind me. Look at all the ambulances that lined up. And if you know how ambulances work in modern countries, it's not one tiny ambulance, carrying all the people. It's one ambulance per person. So they had a whole line of ambulances ready. Are we ready for this in Muritala Mohammed? Because the last really bad turbulence I had, it was in a private jet. I don't like private jets for that reason. I would not fly a Cessna or any of those small planes. But the last commercial airline one I had was British Airways coming to Nigeria. And somewhere around Kano, it started to rain. We hit turbulence. Jesus Christ. I was vomiting. Everybody reacts differently. That's why they put the bag in your seat if you want to vomit. I was just vomiting. At that point, I took my antiemetic. If you are traveling on a plane, please get an antiemetic drug from your doctor. Okay? Sturgeon, Meclizine. They sell Sturgeon in Nigeria. Meclizine is an American drug, but they sell it in Nigeria too, but it's in Ikoyi pharmacies, all where the rich people work. It's expensive over there. I bought a bottle of 100. I don't remember how much I bought it, but it tastes like strawberry candy. Meclizine, you can put it under your tongue. It's sweet and it works right away. It causes drowsiness, but it works right away. Sturgeon is there. You can take that as a tablet because you don't know when you're going to have motion sickness. That's what that is. When you get up there. And then my ears. You start crying. I started crying. And every time we hit turbulence or when we're descending, my ears start popping. The air pressure from coming up to down. And it makes you just painful. And the flight attendants have to bring you hot towels. They'll bring you these tiny little hot towels. You put it in your ears like headphones. You hold and you'll be crying. Oh God, I don't like plane descending. That's when I have most of my problems. So the flight attendants will tell you to start swallowing, be swallowing your saliva. Some of them will bring you water. You're about to land, so trays can't open and all that. It's not funny. Honestly, if you guys think air travel is that easy, it's not that easy. So basically what I wanted to tell you is being an aviation, I call myself a plane spotter and an aviation buff. I can actually be an aviation expert when it comes to being a journalist. I've retired, but I wish I was doing aviation stories, but that's what it looks like now. On Twitter, I have all my aviation posts there. So what happens basically is air pockets are created when warm air rises up. Okay, when you're at 34,000 to 45,000 feet. Let me tell you what's going on. Air Peace once carried me from Nigeria to Ghana, and from Nigeria to another West African country. If you're within West Africa airspace, Air Peace, the Embraer that they use is going at 24,000 feet. Now, if you take a plane from Ivory Coast, Ghana, and maybe Nigeria, and you're going to Dubai, Emirates is flying at 34,000 feet from West African countries. We flew Qatar Airlines to Doha, and Doha to Atlanta, but that whole Lagos to Doha thing is 34,000. I don't know whether they got to 45, but there are planes who are going to Australia, Singapore, Japan, who are going, like I told you, the Boeing 747-8. Okay, Captain Silver's plane can go all the way to 45,000 feet. And people wonder about oxygen masks and, can we breathe up there, So clear air turbulence, all right, happens when warm air is rising. Okay, and it happens fast, all right? It happens between, fast and low jet streams. I don't know if you know what that is, but it cannot be seen by pilots and it cannot be seen on flight radar. So Jesus is good. God is good. This is part of what God created up there. I don't know who created the airplane to be carrying us from one place to another that's too far across Atlantic, across Pacific and all that. So I wrote it's very sad because when turbulence, when it happens. Have you not seen planes experiencing turbulence and Nigerians praying? People start praying, on board and all that. It's a phenomenon I hate. I really don't like it. So you hope there won't be turbulence when you travel. But are we ready for this in Nigeria? Are we ready for this? The response at Bangkok, Thailand airport was excellent. The ambulances, everybody was ready. And that's not even where the plane was going. So Muritala Mohammed, you need to be ready for this. So in case there's a plane passing through our airspace and there's massive turbulence and they have to make an emergency landing at Muritala Mohammed Airport, So Mr. Kiyamo, you need to address that. You must be prepared. Thanks, guys. May the soul of the man rest in peace.